I'm glad you pointed out was the whole baby at the riot thing, because of they carry their babies into the riot knowing that they're going to be clashing with federal forces and they're pretty much sacrificing their baby so that they can say, oh my goodness, they're tear gassing babies. And they did it again with 6 children at the riot that started after 3 illegals attacked an ICE agent and he had to shoot one of them in the leg, right? They drove their car up to the police line where, they're obviously going to get spooked by a speeding vehicle toward them while they're trying to cordon off the road. And they had all windows down and tear gas was shot at the vehicle as it was just 10 feet from the line with a bunch of children in it. Why would you do that to your children? Like, that's child abuse. When I had my run-in the other day with these rioters, when they blocked my vehicle and the police wouldn't respond, and they started throwing those frozen water bottles, which are essentially bricks, through the windows, they were when I went back and I had to return the vehicle because it was a rental car. I returned it to Enterprise, and they told me that they've had multiple, just that day, innocent civilians in their rental cars attacked because they were accused.
Hey, what's up, y'all? If anyone who's here, Karina, first of all, and anyone else, number one, I need to know if you can hear me in the chat. I know you can see me in the chat, but if my voice comes across when the video is playing. Number two, I didn't expect anyone to be here tonight. Today is Saturday. I got the flu, and I don't know if this is obviously the way that my brain works. I'm inclined to, Karina says, how are you? I'm explaining how I am. Thank you for asking. So I'm not someone who gets sick. I'm not someone who misses work. And on the people that I live with got a nasty flu on Monday night. And on Tuesday morning, I called in sick to work and I said, I got it. I'm out. And this thing flattens you. And like I was trying to say, I mean, my brain isn't even right yet. You get the body aches, my fever was around 100, which is not crazy. But I got the respiratory plus the body, everything else. I didn't puke because of the flu, but I did throw up one time because I was coughing so hard. My stomach muscles just sort of said, fuck you. Anything you tried to eat is gone. And I ended up vomiting. But it wasn't vomiting from the flu. Or maybe it was. But I hope that makes a little bit of sense. This disease that I got, because everyone knows me as the conspiracy guy. I say, oh, designer diseases and whatever this fucking thing was, put me and the 2 people I live with on our ass for an entire week. And I can't wait to get back to work Monday, but I tell you, I'm still not right as of this moment. So I'm just watching some Alex Jones. I can't believe people are actually watching me. Yeah, treat the symptoms is all you can do. Flu's going around. Yeah, everyone I know is sick. I just pray no one gets what I got, because this thing really, I'm going to sound like I don't even want to be creative right now. And the weirdest thing about it was on Friday, yesterday morning, it's like, oh, I'm getting better. And then by 11 a.m., the rest of the day, it's like, oh, it's back. I mean, this thing is crazy. It comes in waves. It digs into your bones. It sucks. But anyway, I'm watching this Alex stuff. I appreciate everyone who's here. Thank you very much for showing up to my stream on YouTube. Not a lot of people even know I exist anymore. So thank you guys. Hit play. Go.
Accused of being ICE on the street. So it wasn't just me that this happened to. They had it happen multiple times. And then I have pictures that somebody sent me yesterday. I haven't posted them yet of vehicles at a hotel that weren't ICE, again, and pretty much all the vehicles in the parking lot ended up with
Wow, let's elaborate on that. So you bring back your attack car with the windows all knocked out and spray paint all red, and they say, oh, this is happening to other people today. That's huge.
Oh, yeah. So it's happening multiple times a day to innocent people all across the
And
area.
that's just one company you wouldn't talk.
I don't know if this is my brain being a little bit warped, but yes, I'm working Martin Luther King Day, and if you look into it, Martin Luther King isn't, he's not my favorite person, actually. Hit play, go.
Talk to.
The government ears Alex Jones, who has the largest audience in the country, bigger than any of the networks, the biggest megaphone in the country.
The deep state hates Alex Jones with a vengeance.
Alex Jones is the most extraordinary person I've ever met.
Well, if I know anything, I know how to smell victory. In the last few weeks with Nick Sordor and Nick Shirley, it just further illustrates the death of the corporate media
Okay, Alex.
and how real citizen journalists, skin in the game, on the streets, doing real investigations, changes everything.
Show us how we're
Nick Sordo's
winning.
on Fox with Laura Ingraham, great lady. And he's like, yeah, I was just on the phone with the AG. Here's the guy. Here's his name. Here's the guy that, took the guns when they broke into the FBI vehicle. And you can see her go like, wow, whoa. Because normally that'd be Pam Bondi giving them all these listens. But
I wish I was in better form. Karina, Martin Luther King was a philandering plagiarizer, among other things, if you look into it. It's just weird, the folks that we are told to celebrate by public school. It's kind of weird. Hit play, go.
the point is they're going directly to the people. The independent media already has much bigger audiences than all the legacy media. And we're not in competition with them. It's about the fact that that understanding is bigger than Fox or CNN or the New York Times or Nick.
In fact, I'm going to do this because reality works in reverse sometime. Can I just, for the rest of any time I ever decide to go on YouTube, can I only have Karina S. and like 2 other people in the chat, and those 2 other people know who they are? That's all I need. Just perfect. Not that we agree with each other, but it's that the basic things are outlined.
Or Nick Sordor or Joe Rogan, Alex Jones. It's the de-evolution back to the people. And to watch Nick Shirley, weeks ago, I said, watch. The day it broke, I said, you're going to see thousands of citizen journalists in California and Texas and everywhere else going and showing the exact same fraud. Now I can't even watch it. I see videos, hundreds, 300,000, 200,000, 100,000, million, 5 million views, going and showing all the fake preschools, all the fake hospices, all the fake in-home medical things, all of it. And it's just like they can't stand against this. As I've said for decades, if citizen journalists go out and expose this stuff, if we got platforms like X that won't censor it, it's game over. We're going to Nick Sordor right now. But there's so many stories here. And then Nick, his vehicle being attacked, smashed out there. They're smashing through the ICE facility. They bring babies hoping they get hit with gas as human shield.
All right, so I just hit pause for a second, and the reason that I did that is I'm making some commentary. I've already watched this, and for those who watch this later or for those who are here, I see some people coming in, which is cool. I've been fucked up since Tuesday with a really bad flu, like a really bad flu. And JB doesn't take any vaccines. He never gets sick. This thing put me out of work for a fucking week, and I still don't feel good. But I felt good enough the last couple days to go on YouTube. I've been running some Alex Jones, and I tried to do a music show one day, and they just deleted it right away. But I've already watched what Alex is about to play here. This is not me restreaming him live. This is something I think it was pre-recorded. But the point is that these motherfuckers down there in these areas, and soon to be up here. I'm in the Northeast of America. Soon to be up here, these fucking riots by these communist cocksuckers. What they do is they actually bring, and I predicted this weeks ago. I was saying to someone, I won't say who, but I go, next they're going to be pushing their 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds to the front lines and say, look, they're gas bombing kids. But it's actually worse than that. And what Alex and his guest are about to explain are that they're actually literally bringing their babies, like wrapped up babies, like 1-year-olds and things, to the front line so that they can get photo ops saying, look, ICE is gas bombing babies. And unless you believe Alex Jones is a 100% liar and every single one of his guests are 100% liars, I guess if you believe that, then don't watch this. But I've been watching Alex Jones for fucking 20 years. Check this out. Like I said, I've already watched it. Just exactly as I predicted, but worse. They're literally bringing their babies to the front lines for photo ops to say that Immigrations and Custom Enforcement is firebombing, tear gassing babies. Check it out.
They get hit, and then they go on the news, and AP and ABC doesn't say, why did you bring a baby in a baby stroller?
Stop. I'm getting a little bit of energy doing this. This is cool. I'm glad I went on. I'm glad I went live. So this is one circumstance. Everyone's favorite phrase is 2 things can be true at the same time. Well, in this particular circumstance, 2 things cannot be true at the same time. Either Alex Jones and his guest are complete liars, or what's happening is happening. 2 things cannot be true at the same time in this case. And I predicted that these, whatever they are, we're going to be doing shit like this. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Like I said, when I did a live stream, which was taken down immediately a couple months ago, maybe it was not even that long, maybe like 5 weeks ago, whatever, that they were going to be pushing children to the front line. Well, it's worse. They're taking babies to the front line. All right, I'm ranting. Hit play. Go.
Stroller when you were going to attack a federal facility. Imagine robbing a bank. You can see Bonnie and Clyde were bad, but they bring babies to bank robberies. It is the lowest form of whale shit. So there's so many facets to this, so many angles. Will Trump declare the insurrection? Because you've got the mayor saying, oh, ICE is illegal. Oh, yeah, we can arrest them. Oh, we'll confront them. You have all these Democrat leaders saying, oh, get guns, kill them. I'm just worried they're about to pull a false flag and mow down a bunch of these protesters and blame ICE. That's why I think Trump needs to clamp down. But he says, I don't need to yet. From sources, he said, get it ready for next week. But now he's like, well, maybe it's not needed. I'm going to give Nick Swartor the floor here. Very gracious and as busy as he is. Hosts a very popular Sunday show. What is it? 1 p.m. Central on InfoWars. And so, Nick, back to you years ago interviewing with Railway Spill. No one was there but you. You know, you're back to that again. It's so exciting. So many angles here. So much danger as well. Go where you want here. I'm trying to, because you've been on fire lately. I want to give you the floor. Go ahead and rant. Just go wherever you want. Go ahead, Nick Swartor.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of what you said, Alex, there is 100% true, and it's spot on. The one of the most appalling aspects about this that I'm glad you pointed out was the whole baby at the riot thing. You know, because of they carry their babies into the riot, knowing that they're going to be clashing with federal forces, and they're pretty much sacrificing their baby so that they can say, "Oh my goodness, they're tear gassing babies," and they did it again with 6 children. 6 children at the riot that started after 3 illegals attacked an ICE agent, and he had to shoot one of them in the leg. Right? They drove their car up to the police line, where they're obviously going to get spooked by a speeding vehicle toward them while they're trying to cordon off the road, and they had all the windows down, and tear gas was shot at the vehicle as it was just 10 feet from the line, with a bunch of children in it. Why would you do that to your children? Like, that's child abuse. It's child abuse. And these people should be arrested, but that's the vehicle that I'm referring to right there. that black GMC Yukon. And I was right there when it happened. I watched the entire thing happen.
Describe what you saw. This is key, and this is key first person witness.
Yeah, so that's what I was just describing. It's like they drove quickly up to the line, up to the police line. We had DHS that were trying to hold back rioters. That vehicle shouldn't have even been able to drive down the road, but they forced their way down the road, and now they're going to play victim. And that's what they all do. And I'm sure they'll get one of those race baiting attorneys out there that'll hire or sue DHS.
Exactly. This is a disgusting heyday. And I've seen footage of the small children while they're tearing down fences in the middle of the night. They bring little kids, and other women you talked about, they bring little kids saying, well, I want them to see fascism. This is so evil.
Yeah, it's definitely so evil, Alex. And I've been here for like almost 3 weeks now in this frozen liberal hell, I guess is what we're going to call it out here. And obviously, Tim Walz is loving every second of this because it distracts from his fraud out there. He did this statewide address the other day, calling for people to go head-to-head with ICE agents in the street. And then what happened a half hour later? They're chased with a shovel by 3 illegals. That's when that shooting happened the last time, literally a half hour later. And so they're getting what they want here. I do believe that this is an insurrection. And I believe that at some point the president is going to have to do something about it because it's more than just riots and unrest. They're taking resources away from ICE and DHS and Border Patrol, people that and assets that should be used to deport these violent criminals. Instead, they're being forced to protect their facility and protect each other on the streets, right? So the amount of manpower you have out here versus the amount of successful deportations is alarming because they're being prevented from doing their jobs. That's part of it. That's part of the game plan of the left out here. And then also, when you get to the point where these people had 2 hours with this FBI, with these FBI vehicles out there, 2 hours to loot, and that's how they were able to.
And by the way, how did they know what to hit?
I mean, because all they did was this was right near the scene of that ICE.
So they looked at the license plates.
Yeah, well, they're undercover vehicles, but if you just look inside and you see like they'll see like a radio or something, and they'll be like, oh, that must be a law enforcement vehicle, and so they'll start destroying it. Now there were a couple of vehicles there that were destroyed that weren't.
I was about to say, we see plenty of videos of like you'll have a plumber in an SUV and they like attack them. They have to prove they're not ICE. Yeah. Well, and the Karens will say, "Why are you driving an SUV?"
Right. Well, when I had my run-in the other day with these rioters, when they blocked my vehicle and the police wouldn't respond, and they started throwing those frozen water bottles, which are essentially bricks, through the windows, they were. When I went back and I had to return the vehicle because it was a rental car. I returned it to Enterprise, and they told me that they've had multiple, just that day, innocent civilians in their rental cars attacked because they were accused of being ICE on the street. So it wasn't just me that this happened to. They had it happen multiple times, and I have pictures that somebody sent me yesterday. I haven't posted them yet, of vehicles at a hotel that weren't ICE, again, and pretty much all the vehicles in the parking lot ended up with slashed tires.
Wow, let's elaborate on that. So you bring back your attack car with the windows all knocked out and spray paint all over it, and they say, oh, this is happening to other people today. That's huge.
Oh, yeah. So it's happening multiple times a day to innocent people all across the area.
And that's just one company you wouldn't talk to.
Yeah. I didn't talk to any of the other ones. It was just Enterprise who's having that problem. And it's getting to the point where they're going to end up running out of vehicles. You can't even. I tried to look for to swap out my current rental car again, and I was like, they don't even have any vehicles for me right now because of the fact that.
Well, I'm sure you noticed. You may have missed it. They have fake right wingers that are really leftist claiming you staged all of this, even though like it's total carnage. People are being attacked everywhere. No. The left's not attacking anybody, Nick. You staged the attack. No one attacked you.
Yeah, I mean that's a new one. That's a new one. Hearing that I staged that's pretty good. I have a real talent if that's the case, because that went on with a lot of people for quite a long time. I was trapped there for like 20 minutes.
No, I know that's what they do. Like the transgenders. We're going to kill Charlie Kirk tomorrow. Okay, we killed him, but they didn't do it. It's the same story. So let me ask you this. Look, I don't have a fetish about troops. I don't want troops on the streets, but it's not martial law, the Insurrection Act. They're going to stage a false flag. They're keeping escalating. Trump, the mayor and the governor have hyped this. He needs to nip it in the bud nationwide and show he'll do it. I think he needs to go in and shut this down because these are demonstrations. You'll hear, protesters clashed with ICE. No, they go attack them. So I think Trump, I agree with Elon Musk. He needs to shut this down. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, because an example needs to be made out of this place. If these people are allowed to win, they will do this in countless other cities all across the country, right? They'll see this as a proof of concept. And so this is really a battle for the future of the deportation plan, right? If we withdraw here, if Trump backs down to these rioters,
we can't retreat. We can't retreat
for them to do this everywhere.
Sorry, I was interrupting. We can't retreat here.
Exactly. And I, troops on the street, yeah, it sounds big and scary and stuff, but really their entire goal is to just protect federal agents that are doing their jobs. They're not even, nobody is expecting Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act and use troops to go door to door deporting people. We're expecting law and order here.
Oh, by the way, I know you saw Tim Walz's speech 2 days ago. He goes, they're going, I can't do his little tampon voice, but he's like, they're going door to door saying, where are the brown people? Total lie.
Yeah.
No, these cities and states won't give us the illegals when they're even in jail for crimes. They have a duty to do this under the law. You made this happen. You knew it was happening. It's in the Podesta plan. They bet on this, but I don't see it going their way. So what do you expect them to do now that it's, or A, do you agree it's blowing up in their face? And then B, what do they do?
Well, I don't know if it's really blowing up in their face really right now at all, because we're not seeing enough pushback from the administration. In my opinion, I think it'll come. It's a matter of time, and I think Trump has a pretty good handle on things. I trust his judgment. But I'm speaking from talking undercover to people on the ground out here about how they're feeling. So I'm just relaying that information back. They don't believe that they are losing out here by any means. I would say the rioters on the ground believe that they are winning, that this is a battle that they're winning and that they're going to potentially win the war here, and that shouldn't be allowed to happen. We have the power. We have the ability.
So let me ask you this. You've been there 3 weeks. I mean, you give me a graph here. So let's say 3 weeks ago versus now. So this is, week 1, week 3. I mean, it looks like it's escalating about like that, right? Like, is it going straight up? Or, I mean, how bad is the escalation here?
Well, I mean, you look at what we saw on Wednesday night, or into Thursday morning, how brazen these people were, how violent they were. I mean, that is when, on Wednesday night is when I feared for my life probably the most since I've been out here, because I was alone. Police weren't responding to anything. I had a camera, and I was filming literal Latin Kings gang members breaking into FBI vehicles and stealing not just rifles, but select fire rifles, automatic rifles, machine guns out of FBI vehicles. And I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen them get away with it. I mean, besides like it's a 2020 level type stuff. And this is really the first time that I've seen 2020 level, like summer of love type stuff going on out here.
Yeah, there's the wrongness of FBI vehicles. They're getting weapons. They're getting everything. And the police stood there and watched it happen. You were there.
Yeah, they were a block away. We flagged them down, told them it was happening. They didn't move in until after the weapons were already out of the vehicle. They waited. I sat there and filmed the Latin Kings guy put the rifle in his vehicle. And I told Minneapolis police, as he was still there, I said, he's right there. Here's the video. Here's the license plate. Here's the guy. Go get him. And they didn't do it. They let him go with an automatic rifle that he stole from the FBI. I mean, it's pathetic. Nobody respects local police out here. Nobody respects the Minneapolis police, because they know that nothing is going to be done.
Well, let me say this. I mean, let's talk about the arrogance of the people breaking into cars, breaking into lock boxes, gun lockers, getting secret documents, guns, and they're handing them out on camera, not even worried. That shows a real level of chutzpah, a real level of bravado.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And these people should be arrested for that. I mean, there was a guy, last name's Mercado. I don't remember. He's a streamer that's out here, a leftist streamer, calls himself a journalist, but in reality, he's a leftist militant that's got mental problems. And he was sitting there on his stream, took the documents that were in that vehicle and started reading off the names of FBI agents and addresses and their strategic plans, like confidential or potentially confidential information that was within the called CUIs, and that's doxing agents and nothing. He hasn't been arrested for that. I mean, he committed several felonies that night. He's actually the same guy that incited the attack on my vehicle out there at the ICE facility. So, I mean, that's who we need to see.
Well, yeah, I remember the name was similar routes. So it's the same guy.
Absolutely, it was the same guy, and that would be an example made right there by the DOJ. And I'll be talking to Pam Bondi more about that hopefully today, and because these people need to be. They know that they are immune from state prosecution because Tim Walz isn't going to let any of these people go to jail, right? The only people that are allowed to go to jail here on the state level are cops that happen to be arresting someone that's overdosing on fentanyl in the middle of the street, like Derek Chauvin. But they're not immune from federal prosecution, and so that needs to be taken very seriously. And the jury pool here, keep in mind, this is a lot different. The federal district is the entire state of Minnesota. So if federal charges are pressed, then you're taking a jury pool from all over the state, and most of Minnesota, besides the Twin Cities, it's bright red. So, you can get convictions here federally.
Well, you just said it. They're desperate. Their party's over. They've been caught in massive fraud. They don't know what to do. And then I would just tell the feds this. Most of you are just politicos. You just follow orders and you're compartmentalized. But the communists, when they take over, nobody's immune. It's going to be raping, robbing, looting everywhere. This is the globalist leftist plan. This is what they want. So what do you make of all the other citizen journalists that are hitting the street and just how exciting this is?
Oh, it's fantastic. Like I was telling Laura Ingraham last night or the night before. I'm losing track of days. I've been here so long.
I get it.
I guess it was last night.
No, I think you've been on 2 nights in a row. But yeah. Sorry, get back to it.
Yeah, the only reason that we caught this guy stealing the FBI rifle was because citizen journalists were there taking video. That I was able to take a video of his face because the mainstream media. The reason they use the term "quote unquote" mostly peaceful is because they're there while it's mostly peaceful, quote unquote, and then as soon as it gets a tad bit dicey, then they run away, right? And then that's my job, to go in after them and not let them lie about it, not let them cover up this story about, police cars being smashed and looted and rifles being stolen by gang members on the street while Minneapolis police do nothing but watch at Tim Walz and Mayor Fry's orders. And there are more and more of us on the streets, which is fantastic. I freaking love it. It's dangerous, but it's rewarding, and stuff comes out of it.
Absolutely. So let's play this clip of you with Ingraham last night, and she's like, "Whoa, you just talked to the Attorney General." I love the fact, nothing against Fox, the DOJ go right to the people you're already having way bigger views than Fox. It's not about competition. It's about Trump needs to focus on raw journalist on the ground, his own interviews. People want the straight interaction. They want a reporter showing a footage. They want Trump on Joe Rogan or on, Elon. That's the old media does not exist, folks, and it's illustrated again by you. Here's a clip from Laura Ingraham last night.
I know you just talked to a high-placed source at DOJ. Tell us more.
Yeah, so he wasn't arrested last night. He could have been, but the Minneapolis police didn't bother chasing the vehicle that had just stolen a high-powered rifle out of an FBI car. So that stole it out of one of these weapons lockers that was in the back. But what I can confirm now is that Raul Gutierrez, age 33, that you see in the video that I posted last night, stealing a firearm from an FBI vehicle, has been arrested by the ATF and the DOJ. They executed an arrest warrant today, and he's a known member of the Latin Kings gang. I just got all this information just before I came on air.
By the way,
He's got
they put a hit out on Trump and
violent
ICE 3 months
rap
ago.
sheet. Of course, he should have been in prison already, but in Tim Walz, Minnesota, like they don't arrest anybody here. So it's not surprising that he was able to go out and beat this gun safe to a pulp and pull this automatic firearm out of it and run away with it. And, you know, hell, if it wasn't for, honestly, a lot of us independent journalists on the ground that were able to get a video of this, nobody would have seen it happen.
Wouldn't know
They
about
were
it.
able to find this guy based on a video from independent journalists, the one that we posted last night. I mean, it's crazy that it has to be us doing this.
So, Nick,
Incredible.
did you talk to DOJ to get his name?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's I've been in contact with
Okay.
Attorney General Pam Bondi throughout the day today. We've talked
Okay.
to him several
We'll
times.
take that
because
as
I
a
have a lot more
confirmation.
material that I haven't posted. Yeah, and so they've been. There's a lot of FBI stuff going on the ground right now that I can't talk about, but there's more coming.
So bigger than that, bigger than everything else is the fact that being in place on the field is everything.
Yeah.
Sort of already reached his 20 million, 30 million, 100 million a week. The fact is now he's there. He's the source. They're the source. It's all about occupying. It's about showing up in life. And this is so beautiful. The corporate media is dead. The system's dead. This shows it. And as you inspire, I predict you're inspiring people just like Nick Shirley right now. As you do that, Nick Sordor, you can feel the ground moving under us right now.
Yeah, you're 100% spot on that, Alex. And you see all these stories from all these different states all around the country right now of people just, you know, taking their own initiative and jumping to, you know, Columbus, Ohio. I grew up not terribly far from Columbus, Ohio. And now I'm like, and I didn't know about any of the stuff that was going on there. This was all uncovered by citizen journalists, people on X, just going out there and exposing more Somali fraud going on out there. And you know, now you hear every day a new story about fraud here, fraud here, fraud here, fraud here. And it's not erroneous. You're like, what the hell is the government even doing? How do they not know about this stuff? Why is it up to us to find out? But we're holding their feet to the fire. And there are so many citizen journalists now that it is hard for them to cover everything up. They just can't because there's too many stories coming out too quickly.
Well, I mean, that's it, though. Is my main message I want to get your view on it is we're seeing the power of the people. The left gets their talking points. They put out lies. They bring babies to violent demonstrations. We don't do that. If we just go out and just aim cameras, it's game over because they're the bad guys. All we have to do is point a camera at them. They're the bad guys. Just kind of shine a light on the cockroaches.
But that's why they terrorize us, like terrorize people like me when I go out to these riots that are happening outside of the Minneapolis ICE facility. That's why I have to go in disguise. That's why I have to hide myself, because they will attack me. They try to scare us away because they don't want us filming from the inside. Because when we film from the inside, we expose them. We show America, regular Joes that are at home, at work, what's actually happening and who the bad guys are. It's so obvious. It doesn't take much. You don't have to be a trained professional to go in there. Just go in there with an iPhone and film them for a little while. And it's obvious to everybody who the actual aggressors are.
Nick, what your show Sundays at 1 or is it noon?
1 o'clock Central Time. And it's funny, Alex, I forget sometimes too, because I'm on the road doing that show most of the time. I'm usually, in different time zones. So it's 1 p.m. Central Time. And
no, I watch it. I love this week you're on the road. That's beautiful. We love that. You're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in my car at this ICE thing. Like, well, we love it, brother. Thank you.
Everything I do is in real time, man. But yeah, InfoWars Sunday briefing with me, hosted every weekend, 1 p.m. Central Time, guys.
And how do people follow you?
Typically, I mostly post on X. It's at Nick Sortor, NICKSORTOR. And honestly, Alex, I want to say this too. Most of what I do would not be happening if Elon Musk did not buy X. There's no way. I would have been banned immediately, right after East Palestine, Ohio, at Twitter 1.0. So shout out to Elon for that one.
All right, I know you got to go, but you got big stuff coming. All right, Nick, we love you, brother. Be safe.
Thank you, man. Take care.
That guy's got a target on his ass. Pray for him. This is the Info War, and we're winning. And you've been backing it, folks. Great job, Nick Sordor. heads up, today is the last day that you get put in 50x entries at thealexjonesstore.com when you purchase any of the supplements, ultramethylene blue, you name it, any of the Patriot apparel, the widest selection of t-shirts, ball caps, hoodies, sweaters, you name it. It's amazing. The big giveaway on the Raptor, souped up off-road Raptor, and $2,000 cash ends today. 50x entries. And it's the last day where both overlap for the next big giveaway, the big off-road Ford F-250 diesel with the off-road packages. So this is the last day to do 50x entries on both. You understand that? Now, a month from now, when the diesel truck sweepstakes ends, there'll be those last days where you get 50x entry. But right now, this happens every 2 months for only a week. You get put in on both 50x entries in the sweepstakes with any purchase at thealexjonesstore.com. That funds this operation. I salute you. Thank you all for your help separately. They only got 2,000 of these. It's a World War II modern edition trench dagger, 10 inches, double-edged, razor sharp, highest quality, murdered up, brass knuckles, skull crusher. It's got a great pinup girl, 1940s World War II style. And on the back, my quote, "Life is fiery with its beauty." People love this knife. These are limited editions because we do a couple thousand for the design. Every 3-4 months we get one. It's hard to get a lot of these. We can sell a lot more than just 2,000. That's all we can get. And I think they've sold like 1,500 of these. So by the end of the weekend, this will probably be sold out. This is your chance to get the Life is Fire with its beauty, limited edition, World War II style trench battle knife. And if things collapse and stuff's going down, this is what you want hanging on your side with a high-tech scabbard, clip, and more. Get yours now and fund the Second American Revolution worldwide at thealexjonesstore.com. We'll be right back.
Agent Jones leaps from the sky, martini in hand. Danger closing in fast. Dodging bullets and charming every woman in sight, he discovers the prize, a briefcase full of stolen war bonds. Not from the Queen, from the AlexJonesStore.com. Every bond fuels the mission. Every purchase keeps the fight alive. Support the show, because in this world, the only license that matters is to resist.
Silver came down. You know what it did this morning? Popped right back up again. They can't keep it down, right? Normally something like that would have caused silver to keep coming down and down and down and down. There is so much oxygen in this because of the fundamentals that you and I talk about all the time, supply and demand. There's little supply, there's massive amounts of demand, and the fundamentals always hold true. Ultimately, that's always the case, right? So this is why it came down last night. But why did it come right back up to where it's now 93 again? It's because of the supply and demand issue. So here's where I want to look at something. So on the notes that I sent you step 1 and step 2. Look at step 1, the chart on that. So it's basically an ascending triangle. And one of the big researchers that I love following, his name is Jesse Colombo. He and I are on the same page on this. He actually wrote a report on it. So what does an ascending triangle mean? It means that from a technical pattern, once silver goes above this little ascending triangle, it's going to soar and it's going to go up. And he predicted we're probably going to be, this is the run to 100. Okay, so he said this sometime in December. Look at step 2. It broke out of that ascending triangle. Now, the next step is $121 silver. We're probably going to eclipse 100 by the end of this month, Alex. The end of this month. Wow,
that's quite a psychological barrier.
I know. That's a huge one, right? By the end of this quarter, I think, will be 120 to 140. And if I were betting man, which I'm not, will probably be around 200 by the end of the year.
The government ears Alex Jones, who has the largest audience in the country, bigger than any of the networks, the biggest megaphone in the country.
The deep state hates Alex Jones with a vengeance.
Alex Jones is the most extraordinary person I've ever met.
I want to be the guy that's right. And by the guy that's right, I want to be the guy that is accurate. I want to know the truth. Like, I want to know what's going on. And then I'm going to tell you what I really think is going on. And that's why we have a track record of being the most accurate. Now, a lot of the stuff we talk about is not simple. It can be taken out of context because we'll war game all the different factions and sides. People can take a clip when I spend 20 minutes war gaming something, looking at 5-6 different angles, and I'll cover one angle, cover another angle, cover this angle. And people that want to be deceptive can go get an angle out and say, that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to watch the show in its context, okay? Now, I have so much family and friends. My phone rings every day now with cousins and, aunts and uncles and old friends. And, Alex, I hear you saying get into silver and gold and that it's only going to go up, you believe. Are you really think that? And I mean, I've had family do this, and I look at them and I go, do you think I'm going to tell my listeners something if I don't think it's this move? My entire economy, my entire world is about being right. I didn't sell silver or gold or promote it for 14 years because I believed that it had been speculative before and that it was not going to go up for a long time. I said, hey, folks, I bet a decade or so we'll be back. Well, we came back 2 years and 2 months ago with the top rated gold and silver sponsor, because they have the lowest prices, the best service, all of it. But and they're a sponsor, but this isn't even about a pitch. It's about the larger ramifications in the economy. So Kirk Elliott has nailed it. He's an economist, and he's the most successful silver and gold broker in North America. That's no easy trick itself. So in the real world of business, he knows what he's doing. And he's a good friend of mine, and very smart historically, and a theologian. And he totally nailed it. And so I had family, he knows, he talked to him, who bought a little bit of silver last week. And they're like, oh, God, it's at 80. Should we do it? And I said, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't have money to buy silver. If you want, call. And boom, now look where it is, okay? So there's going to be profit taking from time to time. But when you put all the factors in of how it's a rare earth mineral, how it's a strategic mineral, a strategic periodic table, part of our universe element. Quite frankly, I think silver in 3 or 4 years is at $1,000. I think gold's at $10,000 because of the inflation alone. Okay, but I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm just saying they've suppressed it so long. Silver's the most ridiculously suppressed thing out there, so it's easy to guess. If you have to have it as this industrial thing, and you have all this inflation, and all these elites are hoarding it, and there's shortages of it, and the mines say we're years behind, and it takes 10 years to get a big mine processing, this, to me, my God, is the ace of spades. It's the ships come in. It's the way to make lemonade out of lemons. So, yeah, I mean what I say, but it ain't about whether I mean what I say. It's in Gladiator, he says, are you not entertained? When he chops everybody up in 10 seconds. I'm saying, are you not empowered? Are you not made strong? Have I not told you the truth? And it's not about me beating my chest. It's like, my God, here, people. I'm not just right about the silver. I'm right about all this stuff. It's not about me being right. It's that I'm right, so you'll listen to me so we can beat them. I know how to beat them. But I got to get the White House listening, which they are more and more. And I got to get the public listening and understanding. I know you hear a lot of voices and a lot of stuff out there. But, man, me and my guest, it's not just me that gets it right. I have people on that are consistently right, like Mark Mitchell at Zogby, at Rasmussen, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And one of those guys is Kirk Elliott. He's got to go in 13, 14 minutes. I got to him late. Apologize. I twisted his arm to come on. He sent me all this preparation. But I noticed what he didn't send me. He sent me some of it. It's this: silver U.S. mint delays and Costco limits surface. This is what he predicted. When you start seeing where you can't even get it retail, and the mines have run out, and the different systems and the trading systems are out, that's when you know it's gone into the next phase. So, Doc, there's a lot to talk about here in a short time, but what the hell is going on with silver right now?
Alex, we were so right. I mean, today silver's like at $93, 93. And what was it after Christmas? It was like 70 something, right? And it's like, we're going up and up and up, but why? So there's a reason why.
Predicting right before Christmas, and we don't even have the staff to do it. We have somebody find it. Your staff needs to find. You said, I bet it could be 90 in January. Remember saying that?
Yeah, I do. And sure enough, it is. Now I think we're probably going to eclipse 100 by the end of this month, Alex. The end of this month. But that's quite a psychological barrier. I know, that's a huge one, right? By the end of this quarter, I think we'll be 120 to 140. And if I were a betting man, which I'm not, we'll probably be around 200 by the end of the year. Now, why do I say that? So just this morning, Trump issued an executive order about shoring up supply for critical minerals, of which silver is one of them. And so he's putting price floors on it. Why? So he can get other countries other than China to go into production deals with America so we can get the critical minerals needed for national security. Now, what that meant was silver last night came down a lot, like literally like $7 or $8 or something like that in offshore trading. It's like, why? Because Trump is delaying any tariffs on these critical minerals in lieu of he's trying to shore up some new deals with other countries to get us out of the grips of China. So silver came down. You know what it did this morning? Popped right back up again. They can't keep it down, right? Normally something like that would have caused silver to keep coming down and down and down and down. There is so much oxygen in this because of the fundamentals that you and I talk about all the time, supply and demand. There's little supply, there's massive amounts of demand, and the fundamentals always hold true. Ultimately, that's always the case, right? So this is why it came down last night, but why did it come right back up to where it's now 93 again? It's because of the supply and demand issue. So here's where I want to look at something. So on the notes that I sent you step 1 and step 2. Look at step 1, the chart on that. So it's basically an ascending triangle. And one of the big researchers that I love following, his name is Jesse Colombo. He and I are on the same page on this. He actually wrote a report on it. So what does an ascending triangle mean? It means that from a technical pattern, once silver goes above this little ascending triangle, it's going to soar and it's going to go up. And he predicted we were probably going to be, this is the run to 100. Okay. So he said this sometime in December. Look at step 2. It broke out of that ascending triangle. Now, the next step is $121 silver, which I think we're going to get this spring. See, this is the amazing combination of fundamental forces.
So what you're saying is, you predicted this, it's even breaking out of some of the most bullish models and going hyperbolic.
Yes. Now, here's what's happening and why we're going to have even a bigger supply crunch. So last night in China's paying like a $13 premium over spot price for silver. It's like, why would they do that? It's because they've run out. China needs it for manufacturing. And this is why also they stopped exporting to the rest of the world. They don't want to export a mineral that they need for manufacturing for all electronics and electric vehicles and batteries and everything else. So they're not exporting it. They put anti-hoarding laws in effect. So it's like people can't buy silver in China anymore, the citizens, because they need it. China needs it.
Let's be clear, they've been encouraging it forever Now they're
Forever.
not. So let's be clear, though. Every indicator is perfect storm here. It's breaking out of even the most bullish models because the mines admit they can't deliver. The major centers that are distributing it are running out. What are you hearing from your sources? You're one of the apex, guys in this at the retail level that's still even small compared to institutional, industrial, but still consumer. You're the apex guy here about where this is going, because clearly, if it's so way undervalued where it should be, it could, with this amplification, if this continues, it could be way more bullish than we could even imagine. It could go completely cuckoo town.
It could. See, every big run that we've seen in history, like 2010, 2011, when silver went from 12 to 48, a 4x increase in like 9 months, that was a speculative blow-off. The Hunt brothers, speculators. This one is so different. This is not speculation. This is supply and demand. Now manufacturers need it. We've never encountered a world where manufacturers have run out of a commodity that's so important it's needed for just about everything. They're going to start offering any price possible, which is why last night in China, they were offering over $100 an ounce silver, when on COMEX, it was $89 an ounce. So what does this mean? So this
let me stop you. You were on 2 weeks ago, and I'm going from memory, so correct exact numbers. Silver was 80, but you said China's offering 89 or something. And so you said, I think that you said, so that means in a few weeks, it'll be at 90 for everybody. That's when you made the prediction, right? I'm going from memory.
Yes. Yes, exactly right. So what does this mean for us?
So it's happening again. So what's the indicators show now?
Indicators are showing now that the COMEX supplies, the inventories are depleting because of this instant arbitrage. You can buy metals in America for $89 and go to China for 100 and something. It's instant arbitrage overnight. So
it's like the new carry trade out of Japan.
It's like the new yen carry trade. Exactly. So this is depleting inventories at COMEX. Okay, so what happened last night when China's offering these higher prices? The banks, if silver were to have hit $100 an ounce, and you just had that research article on the screen just a minute ago, if it would have hit 100, some of the big banks that have massive short positions, like hundreds of millions of dollars in short positions, they would have been wiped out. So they had to try to drive the price down. And they did. But you know what happened? Supply and demand kicked in, prices went right back up. See, we're on the verge of 4.4 billion ounces of silver in bank shorts when mines only produce 800 million ounces a year. This is unsustainable, Alex. And some of these banks are going to get crucified over China's basically massive appetite for silver. And China knows it. They know it, which is why Trump signed this executive order. I can't go into his mind and think of why he did what he did.
You only predicted he would declare. You only predicted like 3 months ago. That's why we got to have a whole archivist just on you, that he would declare it a national security issue, and he did.
He did. He absolutely did, because he needs to. If we can't shore up supply of silver, our defense industry goes dark. I mean, they can't have it. So does electric vehicles, so does solar power, so does AI chip manufacturing, so does cryptocurrency mining, so does all electronics.
But you alluded to this a lot in the last few years, because it was time to kill it. You agreed, yeah, now the bull market begins probably for the next decade. So I said, now's the time. Only to steer people in the right direction. You said something in this